racist broadcast of the evening news. I will be relieved. La, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'm waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. Singing, hey, hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Fuck.
Yes, everybody, it is me, Matt Wright, here on this wonderful and fantastic Thursday evening, live on Muddied Waters Media with the Writer's Block. Yes, 8-ish people, 8-ish. Nothing starts at 8 here. If it does, it's not a real Muddied Waters Media production. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I know there are a lot of things you could be doing on Thursday night, and I appreciate that you choose to spend your Thursdays here with me on the Writer's Block on Muddied Waters Media. If you are watching us on one of the many social media outlets that we are on and you have not yet subscribed, followed, liked, whatever the option is on whichever social media, go and do that now. Just hit the subscribe, hit the follow, hit the bells. If there are bells, hit the bells. Anywhere we are, hit the bells. We want your phone to explode. I know that a lot of people in the comments are saying there was no notification, but please just do it, because that will tell them to start sending notifications, or they will finally kick us off of social media, and I don't know what we'll do then. I'll have to figure that out then. First and foremost, allow me to thank Casey Neff for the kava that I am drinking on today's episode. I still okay, so these guys, they are still a sponsor, but their website's down, so they can't take orders. So they asked me to stop giving them. They asked for people to stop going to their website. So they will be back soon. But until then, thank you, Casey Neff, and to Casey Neff for my kava, and to all of you for showing up. I say Bula Banaka. So today is Thursday, August 5th, and today's episode is brought to you by the very fine and wonderful people at the Libertarian Party Waffle House Caucus, the fastest growing and second largest caucus in the Libertarian Party. If you want to become a member of the Libertarian Party Waffle House Caucus, all you have to do is go to muddywatersmedia.com/store and pick yourself up a Waffle House button, which will be mailed out to you by me personally. If you want to become a voting member, even though we never vote, pick yourself up a shirt, which you can also get at the exact same spot. This episode is brought to you by the Gravy King, and by Fierce Luxury by Ashley, high-end bags and accessories consignment shop. It is based online. They carry the hottest brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, Hermes or Hermès. Somebody said it the other day. It might be Hermès. You can consign with them for a 30% fee, which is allegedly 20% less than you can from anybody else. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think Ashley would lie to me. You can find them online at fierceluxurybyashley.com and on Facebook in their exclusive group, Fierce Luxury by Ashley. Ashley assumes that we will also have fun with this and make jokes, but the details here are the same. And she promises to get us a better high-quality graphic as soon as possible. But that hasn't happened yet. This episode is brought to you by Jack Casey. Jack Casey has written some books. One of them is apparently about a vomiting ring. The other one is about a butterfly with an erection. He has another book coming out called Crowned by Gold. Crowned by Gold, which is Donald Trump's hooker's favorite book. You can pick those up at theroyalgreen.com. And from what I understand is Donald Trump's Hooker's Favorite Book is coming out soon. I keep hearing this, but I'm not really sure how true that is. We will find out together because I'm certain he will want to prove it to me and tell me I've been wrong this entire time. This episode is brought to you by Cumberland Cannabis Co. It is viable, ethical, and effective weed. It's Delta 8. It's a great ethical Delta 8 strain from the fantastic people in the Cumberland Valley in Tennessee. And for anybody out there who knows, Tennessee perfected pretty much anything it touches, but it perfected Jack Daniels. So I am willing to bet that they can perfect weed. Don't see why not. This episode is brought to you by Adderpan. Not Addervan, which I keep wanting to say. Adderpan is a first-person Five Nights style game featuring creepy characters like that weird-looking, smiley, empty, shark-eyed, dead doll thingy that you can see right there on the screen. And I'm certain others. You get to play a security guard who's trying to survive the night shift armed with cameras and a flashlight, and you are trying to avoid what I'm assuming is that creepy looking doll thing while they try to kill you, and you need to make it to the end of the day. Expansions are already in progress by the developer and will be available for free as they are released, and is currently available for Windows PC. You can find Adderpan and upcoming expansions on Steam for the low price of $5. $5, people. That's like a gallon and a half of gas. Like, just don't drive anywhere today and buy Adderpan instead, because obviously that is going to be worth more of your money. This episode is brought to you by Thomas Quita. Thomas Quita, if you want to know how to say his name, say quitter like an Australian. Quita. Thomas Quita, he's rolling for state senate in New York because he states he runs better than Albany. He is having a meme contest at tomfor52.com/FTG. That is TOMFOR52.com/FTG. If you want to know what FTG stands for, the last word is government. He's having a meme contest. Go and send him all of the memes. Make millions of memes. Make millions of memes for Thomas Queter and help him show Albany the correct way to run. This episode is also brought to you by Joseph Solosky, the voice of Muddied Waters of Freedom. He is the key to Pennsylvania's success. If you live in the Pennsylvania region of New York, of the United States, not of New York. If you live in the Pennsylvania region of the United States, vote for Joe Solosky for Pennsylvania's governor and make Pennsylvania mightier than the sword. Thank you all for tuning in. Tomfor52.com. TOMFOR52.com. Oh man, it's one of I don't know who Starry Eyed Surprise is over on Twitch, but they've been banished to Twitch because they can't watch anything on Facebook Live. But thank you, because you are getting us closer to becoming a real Twitch person. Twitchy? I don't know. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Tonight, I have a very special guest on. He is the affiliate support director for the Libertarian Party of Kentucky and the District 4 at large for the same state. His name, and please welcome with me, is Byron Cabbage. Byron Cabbage, welcome to the show, my man. Helps
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Helps if I turn up your volume. I was like, why can't I hear you now? I was like, oh yeah, I turned him down.
There we go.
Welcome. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me. Like I say to all of the people out there in the internet world, there's a lot of things you could be doing on Thursday. I'm not sure if NBC still has must-see TV on Thursday nights, but you're spending it with me instead of with Ross and Rachel, so thank you.
Works for me.
I'm not gonna. So, for anybody out there watching, I'm a massive Scrubs fan. I've seen the first 8 seasons of Scrubs of the 9 because the ninth season is a spinoff. It's not an action. I shouldn't get into this, but I'm going to anyway. So the first 8 seasons is Scrubs. The ninth season is Scrubs Med School. It's a completely different show. They were trying to like get some of the same people to come back. It was more like a reboot. Didn't work. That's why it only lasted 1 season, and now they just kind of lump it all in together. But I'm a massive Scrubs fan, and there's a character in seasons 4 through 6, and then he shows up again in 8, called Jason Cabaggio, that JD lovingly calls Cabbage, and he always sees me. He's like, Cabbage, and every time that I have seen Byron's name for the last week, I have said in my head, Cabbage, because your last name is actually Cabbage. So I have to call you Wolfman. And for that's a
I'm totally going to be watching Scrubs reruns for like the next week now. I hope you know that.
that's a Scrubs deep cut right there. That's a Scrubs joke deep cut for anybody out there. So tell me, Byron, tell me, Wolfman, how is it that you found yourself in the land of the great unwashed known as the Libertarian Party?
Oh, geez. Let's see. It was back in '08. A couple years out of high school, I was like 21. So partying, drinking, all that stuff. And
Sure.
hanging out at the buddy's house, having a good time. And then the presidential debates were on. And Ron Paul happened to be speaking. And I was like, this is kind of interesting, not something that I typically hear. I had never put any thought to like fiat currency or financial policy or anything like that. Or even like the wars, because, the war on terror started when I was in high school. That was my senior year. I remember being in school and watching it all on TV and whatnot. So he was just different, and then 2012 came around and heard him again. And a little older, a little wiser at that point. So like, I just really liked what he had to say. And, I aligned what I thought with Republicans a lot, especially on like gun rights and stuff like that. I live in rural Kentucky, so everybody has a gun. But then like you'd see things like cannabis laws, how strictly they enforce them in the state. Roadblocks are a particular thing that happens here. When you look at the state of Kentucky as a whole, we have Republican majority in the House. I think it's super majority. It's like over 75% of our state legislature is Republican. Now we ended up electing a Democrat
To governor, yeah.
to office for governor.
Andy Bashir.
But
Bashir?
yeah,
Bashar.
Andy Bashir,
Bashir.
the tyrant himself.
Yep.
So it is one of those things. It's like, when you look at it, we should be living literally in a Republican conservative utopia. They have the majority control. The only Democrat strongholds that are left are like Louisville, and then I do believe like Pike County and Lexington. But rural Kentucky is hard red. But again, I didn't align with Republicans on a lot of things, and especially like after listening to Ron Paul, financial policy particularly was one thing I was really interested in. So I joined the Libertarian Party, and never heard from anybody whatsoever. This was like 2012. Turns out, the party was very small back then. There was a total of 4 or 5 guys holding it down. Compared to now, where
you
there
had your
are
chair,
hundreds
your
of us.
vice chair, your treasurer, and your secretary in order to keep the thing alive, and that was pretty much it.
Yep.
Right.
And that was it. So like, so they didn't have directorships at the time. There was no membership outreach director, nothing like that. So you'll find lots of people like that in the state where like they signed up and the party was just so small at the time, they didn't have the capacity to do that stuff. Now at the point where we're getting so much larger and we're having, I guess you'd say, the opportunity to try to backtrack, try to catch up with a lot of these people that showed interest a long time ago and never heard from anybody. So yeah, good times. Switched back to Republicans because of Rand Paul. Had high hopes for Rand Paul. That was 2016. The Johnson campaign came through. I just seen where the elections went, and then it was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So I jumped back into the Libertarian Party again, and that was actually courtesy of Matthew Butts. He kind of nudged me that way and was like, "Look, give it a second chance." And I jumped back in, and at that point, it wasn't 4 or 5 people; it was 20, 30. compared to now, where we have much larger numbers. So at least compared to before.
You would not believe who literally commented as you were saying that. As you were saying, who brought you Matthew Butts. Matthew Ryan
Did he
Butts.
really?
Yeah, he says, holy shnikes, it's my boy Byron Cabbage.
Yeah, Matt's a good guy.
Yeah, Matt, we've been friends on Facebook for a while. He's a good dude. Yeah, so now that was 2016, 2017 when you guys had like 30. Do you know how many people are in your party now?
Let's see, dues paying, I'd say we're around 200. Registered, we're on the track of up to 1,600.
Oh, nice.
Which is incredible considering 2010, 2012, registered was in the hundreds and dues paying was far, far less than that.
Right. Right. So, and now you are the affiliate support director and the district 4 at large for the state party. What do you attest to the meteoric rise to these positions in the LPK?
So let's say realistically, there's so many things that need to be done and not enough people to do them. So right now the party is small enough to where if you want to get involved, it's easy to find yourself in any position, which is good because we're growing now. I kind of got involved basically saying, I didn't really want to be a party officer, nor did I want to be a director, but I was willing to fill that role until somebody else is willing to step it up that can do it better than me. So that's kind of been what it's all about, trying to set the example. If I do it, somebody else may say, hey, you're doing this wrong. Well, then they can step up and have their chance. That's just kind of it. We really need to build like the local infrastructure in order to be able to run a lot of effective races.
Right.
And we've been somewhat effective in the state. We have four individuals elected to office currently. I've had meetings over the past couple of weeks. We had a meetup last night, or we had a meetup on Tuesday night. And I met a guy who's interested in running for a judge executive seat in one of our counties. We have another guy who is interested in running for constable. And that's just in our district. I wanted to say there's 4 or 5 local candidates plus 2 people seeking, House in 2022. So we're just kind of trying to keep the momentum coming up off the presidential election and roll it into 2022.
Very cool. Very cool. So I know that, so you're the affiliate support director. So you deal a lot with training, but it appears as though you've been taking on like event coordination as well.
We don't have an event coordinator currently. We have slowly filled roles. I was one of the first directors when the new team took over. Fell into a bit of a position. The previous chair failed to nominate directors for any of these positions. So we went for 2 years without a director of membership, without a communications director. And the few directorships we did have were our state secretary, Christy Kendrick. She ended up taking on way too many roles. Fantastic lady and such a hard worker, but it was too much, and it can be like that in this party. It is real easy to wear too many hats and take on more than you're capable of handling, especially with a lot of us because we're volunteers. I work 3 part-time jobs total, and I homeschool my son as a single dad. So, I dedicate what time I can. And that's the thing. It's getting a bunch of people to dedicate a little bit of time.
And yes, that is accurate. So I used to be a member here at I am technically a member of the Libertarian Party of Florida still, but I was an officer at the Libertarian Party of Pinellas County. I was the treasurer. I started as the secretary, then I was the treasurer, and then I became vice chair. And they asked me to run for chair, and then I quit the party. And then I ended up joining again later, but I'm not as active in it as
it's happened to a lot of people. It's easy to get back into a position like that, and you don't want to say no because you want to do your part.
Yeah. And a lot of it is that, you have to do things, like you have to get people to just volunteer just a little bit of time. And the people who have more time to volunteer will hopefully step up and do it. And the people who don't will just give whatever they can as far as time. And then if they can't, hopefully they can give some semblance of money. And that's pretty much the way that you have to get parties to grow. Now, I understand that you have an event this weekend, and I'm I'm excited for
It's going to
one.
be fantastic.
I'm excited for one aspect of this entire event. Just one, because I won't be there. But I will be able to watch this live, and I can't wait because I like watching an embarrassing display of athleticism just as much as the next guy. So anytime a politician steps out to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game, I want to be there to watch. And based on past experiences, with past experiences, the mayor of Cincinnati quite possibly threw out the worst first pitch at a baseball game ever. It's worse than 50 Cents, and 50 Cents is terrible. Like 50 Cents is probably the second worst one. And the best opening pitch is possibly George W. Bush from somebody who's not known from being a professional athlete of some kind, even though Michael Jordan was also terrible. But these are the two spectrum, like sides of the spectrum. You could say 50 Cent and George W. Bush. I am thinking that Spike is probably going to pull a Michael Jordan and get it sort of over the plate, but just sail that thing way too high and go over. What do you have any guess? Do we have any bets on how this is going to go?
I don't know. I didn't realize we were taking bets on it.
Man, I take bets on
I'm interested to see how that goes. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the guy will strike. Maybe he'll throw it right over the home plate. Who knows? He does have the fancy glasses,
He does.
Maybe that'll give him some superpowers.
For anybody who doesn't.
So Brian texted me earlier and had me reaching out to ask if Spike can go in the bullpen and warm up a little bit before he goes out. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday. I was like, "You're going to want to warm up your arm beforehand." He goes, "Am I going to have time?" I'm like, "I hope so. You're about to throw the..." And everybody's like, "You're only throwing the ball 90 feet once." And I'm like, "Right, but I've gone out without, like..."
It's the pressure, though.
Right, so much pressure, and you want to throw a strike, and everybody wants to throw a fastball. And if you go out there and you try to throw it the 60 feet 6 inches from the mound to home plate and try to gun it down there, you're going to feel that shiver go all the way down your arm, and then it's just going to die on you.
Right.
Because I've had it happen. So
it'd be fantastic. Hopefully he gets it to the plate. Hopefully it's not like an embarrassing pitch where it just goes a couple feet and then flops down.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't even make it to the plate.
He Carly Rae Jepsons it, and it just goes like 3.5 feet and dives and just rolls. I'm
wondering if he did he buy his own special glove or anything. That would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. Like, I really hope he gets.
Maybe they'll let him keep the ball.
I think they do. I mean,
fantastic.
For most of,
so
I believe most of them do.
He'll have that sitting on the shelf forever, reminding him how he botched
it. Exactly. Like they grab it. They're like, "Here, this hit the woman in the third row over there, so you can have that back. Ignore the blood." God, I hope so. I don't want to see Spike fail when it comes to elections and politics.
I hope he does fantastic, to be honest with you. I think he'll do just fine.
No, so when it comes to elections and politics and like growing the party and fundraising, I don't want to see Spike fail.
Absolutely.
I want to see Spike fail at throwing out this first pitch, and I want it to be gloriously bad.
Do we think about all the memes that can come from this? Because
yes.
Like the one at the beach was pretty popular, so there's no telling what could happen if he flops the baseball. He'll be a internet legend for life.
And in all fairness, if he throws it out better, like if he just guns it and he gets a good strike in, you can just do video comparisons of like former presidents and vice presidents who threw out first pitches
be so good.
next to him and be like, this could have been your VP, but no, you went for this.
That's 2024 election material right there.
Right, exactly. So besides Spike potentially embarrassing himself on national internet, because anybody that wants to, you can watch this on Vimeo. What's the name of the town they're in again? They're the Y'alls. I know that.
Yeah, it's the Florence Y'alls.
Florence.
It's in northern Kentucky in Kenton County.
Okay.
And if you go to the events page on the LPKY website, which is www.lpky.org, click on events, and all those events will be listed under there. Let's see, we have a total of 4 events. 3 of them will be paid events, ranging from something cheap for the Povertarians up to a little bit more expensive. Um, it should be a really good time. So
Did you
they'll have
call
the
them
Florence Canyon. Spike will be throwing the
povertarians?
opening pitch. Povertarians.
Povertarians. I have never heard that before.
Yep.
Povertarians. I like that. Um, so
You've never heard that before?
I've
Crazy.
never heard that before. I've heard all kinds of different plays on libertarian, but I've never heard povertarian. So yeah, anybody that wants to watch it that's not in Kentucky, you can watch that on the Florence Y'all's Vimeo. I don't know if it costs anything to watch it, but they did say it will be airing there, and I'm gonna watch it if I can. But so other than 100%, I'm watching.
That's good
it.
stuff. This isn't a secret. This is concealed to Kentucky. This will be seen everywhere.
Everywhere. So other than this, you've got some training events going on, right? Like what are
Yes,
the
sir.
trainings that you guys are going to be doing?
So we got Trisha Butler coming in. Trisha doesn't live too far from us, just south of us, actually, in Tennessee. So she's going to come up talking about like running for office, candidate-related things, as well as talking about better messaging and whatnot. And then Spike will be giving a presentation, his culture of winning presentation. We're kind of just trying to give people something to do, get them active, get them motivated. We have signatures to collect coming up here soon for 2022 because we don't have ballot access. So just kind of encouraging people to show out, come, get involved, do your part.
Are you guys going to be doing a training on like how to get signatures properly, like in order to like get? Because I have done this before. I've had to go out and get the signatures and do all of that.
So I've been working fairs the past couple weeks. So yeah, it's not the biggest issue was because again we're such a small party and we're growing. It was like people would get signatures and they'd be like, okay, but now what do I do with them? So we've got that squared away. People are learning. So I have a packet I put together, which is I worked with Chris Gillingham, which not too long ago the LPKY meetings were Chris Gillingham sitting in the Barnes and Noble, and then this one guy. Same thing happened with Ken Molman. I don't know if you're familiar with Ken, but how that man comes up with the amount of time he does to dedicate to this party baffles me.
Yeah,
I do not understand it.
Yeah, the former chair of the Libertarian Party, the former temporary chair of the Libertarian Party, Ken Molman. Yep.
The temporary skinny Ken Molman.
Yes, skinny Ken. Skinny
Skinny Ken.
Skinny
But yeah,
Molman. But yeah,
so we have that going on in Louisville. We're going to do a social dinner afterwards. We are recently, so the Libertarian Party of Kentucky now has their first state party office in the state of Kentucky. We have a building where we have a suite downtown. So we're bringing the training in also to like promote that, hey, we are making moves. We're doing things like we have a state party building now where we can store our stuff. It's not getting stored in Ken's basement anymore. It's not hanging out in Christie's garage. It's not, mugging up James Toller's garage. It's actually physically at a location where when people need materials, they can go there to pick up what they need, opposed to, trying to coordinate schedules with people and things in garages. You know how that
Right.
goes. So,
right. Yeah, there was a time period for the Libertarian Party of Pinellas County where when I was the secretary, I had a bunch of stuff at my house. The vice chair had a bunch of stuff at his house. The chair had a bunch of stuff at her house. The treasurer, we were all kind of pulling treasurer duty. But we all had stuff at our house, and they'd be like, hey, we need you to bring these flyers to this meeting, or, oh, don't forget the bracelets. We need to give the bracelets out to people who show up. And then you'd leave the
and
house.
then things get lost.
Yeah, you'd leave the house and completely forget them because you're not thinking about it. And next,
stuff ends up all over the place, and then people like come and go throughout the party.
Right.
I've met several people who were involved back in the day. They tried to do something, and now they're coming back. I actually even talked to a guy the other night who actually was sitting on the city council in 2018. He had some health issues and he left, but now he's back. His county party defunct while he was gone, so he's interested in getting that spun back up and started. So, it happens a lot. But now we have, a headquarters. It's good stuff. I remember when they first got it, Randall calls me and he's like, hey, you have a desk. You need to come set it up. done blue collar work most of my life. I drove a forklift half the damn time. I've never had a desk before, but here we are.
Right.
And it's only going to get bigger, even in the short amount of time that I've been in the party. So I've been an actual dues-paying member of the Libertarian Party of Kentucky for a little over 2 years now. When I started, it was just me, and I was a county coordinator. I live in an interesting district in Kentucky. I live in Thomas Massey's district, in a small county. So what you'll find is the Libertarians here are Republicans because of primaries, because there is no Libertarian Party in a lot of these more rural counties.
Right.
Every now and then you'll come across one or two guys, but most of them, there's no option for them Libertarian wise, so they take their chances, register Republican, and keep Thomas Massey in office, who's a fantastic guy.
Right.
But finding Libertarians in, for instance, Carroll County, which has a very small population, wasn't so easy. Because first off, I'm not from Carroll County. I grew up a couple counties over. So as county coordinator, I was like, it's really difficult to find people in my county, but I know all these people in all these other counties. So what I did is I got nominated to the district, and I started holding district social meetups. I started holding them in Oldham County, and it took us about 9 months, but we affiliated 3 counties in the area that had never previously had a county party before. All of them are functioning parties. They are working fairs. They are doing festivals. They are beginning to start to engage in activism, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what kind of happened. And I've spun up some of the counties around me. So now I'm going to go back to Carroll County and try to get them spun up again.
So where in Kentucky are you? Like which portion of Kentucky?
Let's see. I'm District 4, which is northern Kentucky.
Northern. Okay.
It runs from, basically it borders Louisville and goes across the top of Kentucky and ends at Boyd County.
Okay.
Our districts are really weird here. We have 19 counties in my district. Some of the other districts are a lot larger than that and spread out far. We've always struggled keeping a couple of those districts spun up because the districts themselves are so large. If you hold a meetup, it's 4-hour drive going one way to get to the meetup. But we finally got them squared away and good to go. Working on getting county parties spun up there for them now.
Nice. So since you're a member of Kentucky, I have to ask a question. Are you more of a Hatfields or McCoy's person?
Definitely a McCoy.
Okay, so I have to let you also know this before you answer. My great grandfather's name was Charles Hatfield. Does this change your answer?
No.
Okay. Just wondering. No reason. But well, this interview's over. But no, so I see how you.
I'm sure I can find somebody around here that'll play a banjo for you.
Right.
No, actually, I live in the part of Kentucky where we wear shoes here.
Okay.
This isn't hardcore Appalachia. We're not that far.
You're not pushing people over in outhouses because somebody stole a pig.
No. So the further north you go from me, you might as well be Ohio.
Right.
They don't refer to themselves as Kentucky. Where are you from? Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. I used to live in Tennessee. I used to live in Nashville, and I used to go up to Louisville all the time, which is how I know how to say Louisville.
Yeah. There's like 47 different ways to say it and spell it.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody agrees.
Nobody agrees, but I know how not to say it, and that's Louisville. I know that's not the right way. It's Louisville. Like there's no vowels in it, and you're just kind of brushing through all the consonants as quickly as possible. Louisville. But I used to go up to Louisville all the time, and I used to go to Elizabethtown a lot, or E-Town as the people in Kentucky call it. But we also would go up to we go through Kentucky to go to Indiana to the casinos up there. I like Kentucky a lot. It's a beautiful state. One of my friends was for a while he was a doctor in Pikeville.
Yep,
Okay,
Pikeville.
cool. I was like, I think that's where he was.
They have that's the part of Kentucky I was talking about. They have the Hillbilly Festival out that way.
Yeah, he said he went and he was like, aren't you a Hatfield? Because they hate you here. And I said, yes. That's why I'll never visit. Not because you're in Pikeville. It's because they would hate me. So this weekend kicks off on Friday, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was like a Thursday night thing that I was missing. And I am understanding that there is a pizza hangout at night for only
Yes,
$5.
sir.
Which night is that?
That will be after the training event. It's right down the road in the Highlands downtown.
Okay.
So we'll be going there. It's for people that may not be interested in the training but want to come out
Cool.
and meet Trish and Spike. Just hang out, have some drinks, eat some food, have a good time.
And this is going to be this event, which I love. I love what you're doing here. This event is open to the public. People who are libertarian can come. People who aren't libertarian, people who don't care about the Libertarian Party, all of them can come, and they can either learn about it or not learn about it. Right?
Yes, sir. And let's see. So with the training event, it'll be $35 a person. We can host 30 people at our facility. And then that night we'll be doing the social. We are doing a $5 cover charge to cover what we had to pay for the deposit for the room. If people choose to eat, it's $12 for all you can eat, pizza, drinks, be beer and all that there. So, kind of drink what you want, eat what you want.
And so, before I let you go, I've got something I want to say after this part. But before I let you go, where can people pitch that website again? The Facebook event, the website,
Okay,
anything that you got? Because I know you have a comms
what you
meeting
want to
in
do
like 10
is
minutes.
you'll go to lpky.org, click on events. It'll be listed under events. If you go to the baseball game, which I can't wait to see the videos from this.
I'm gonna
tickets
need.
are $10 a piece.
I'm gonna need you to send me video of it as well. By the way.
I'll be sure we make that happen. So tickets are $10 a piece there. You will click on the link for the video for the y'all's game. You will want to reserve a ticket in section 102 or 103, and the promo code is Liberty.
All right. So everybody now knows where they can get their tickets. You know where to go for this event. I hope everybody that is in Kentucky can make it out to this event because this sounds like it's going to be a great time. I have never seen Spike speak. No, I have. I've seen Spike speak a lot. But the amount of training and the amount of knowledge that is in that oblong-shaped head of his is vast and just unbelievable.
Yes.
So it is worth it to go out to this event and check it out. And plus, you get to watch him potentially beam a random person who is nowhere near home plate. So honestly, completely.
What happens if he hits the batter? We didn't talk about this.
There is no batter. It's first pitch. It's just him and a catcher. There's no batter. He's like saying he's going to throw a perfect game. I'm like, it's a one pitch perfect game.
It'd be fantastic.
But so everybody needs to go out, check this out. If you're not going to be, if you don't live in Kentucky or in the surrounding states, and I understand you don't want to drive.
Absolutely, it's relatively close to Cincinnati. So
It is. Yeah, it's relatively close to
hopefully we'll see some,
Cincinnati. It's close to
LPHO.
Indiana. It's close to Cincinnati. If you're in West Virginia, you're close. I know there's been lots of battles between those two borders. If you're in Nashville, it's not that far. If you're anywhere in Tennessee, it's not that far. Like there's a lot of places that you can make it here. So if you're not in that region, if you're not in the Kentucky region, I understand, and you can watch Spike's first pitch on the Florentials Vimeo. Now, before I let you go, I just want to say you and I were talking a little bit before the show, and you said some stuff during the show. You said that you do all of your work on the weekends, that you're a single dad, that you homeschool, that you do all of this work for the Libertarian Party of Kentucky. And I just want to say you are one of the real ones. I'm immensely proud to be able to have you on the show. Because honestly, that is incredible that you are doing all of this while still single dadding, homeschooling, not just letting your daughter be indoctrinated in public schools, and still making everything work. That is amazingly incredible, and I cannot tell you how honestly proud of you I am, which I hate when people say that to me because you're like, you don't know me, but honestly I am. I wish more people in this world were like you. Thank you for all you are doing.
I really appreciate that, man. And thank you. It takes all of us. I just try to do my part and give what I can give. It's not much, but You know,
Right now, and
we have to protest liberty.
right, you have to do it for liberty, and what you are doing is doing it for liberty. And honestly, like you said that stuff, and I was like, God, like Eskimo Libertarian just said goals. Yes, these are goals that we should all be striving for, and you are doing it, and you are a fantastic example of what a good activist in this party can be, because you have figured out a way to make it all work, and you are doing everything you can to advance liberty. And honestly, like I'm proud to have you on this show.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It was really great being on here, and I'm sure we'll all talk again soon. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. That's
Well,
that's
neither's
what I'm
Muddied
doing. We
Waters.
have to grow
So
this thing.
the only way Muddied Waters is going somewhere is if Facebook decides that we're not a thing anymore. But thank you so much. I know you have your comms meeting, so I'll let you go. But thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you again, and have a fun weekend, and update everybody on everything going on.
Absolutely can do. You have a good one yourself,
All right,
buddy.
buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks again.
All right, bye. All right. Thank you so much to Byron Cabbage for coming on. Honestly, that was amazing. That was he is what liberty activists look like in my mind. He told me beforehand, before the show, I'm going to tell you all, I don't know if I'm supposed to, that because he homeschools and he's a single dad, like he does all of his work on the weekends. So he gets in all of the work he needs to do on the weekends just so he can make sure he continues to do this. Plus he's doing all this coordination, the training coordination, the affiliate building for the LPKY. Like that is an amazing, inspiring person. So pay attention to that guy, because even if he never runs for office, even if he never does anything, he's going to do a lot of stuff for the Libertarian Party. And I am truly proud to have him on the show, because he is an inspiring individual. So that's it for this week. A little bit shorter of a show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Time, you can check out Cajun and Eskimo from Bayous to Igloos, which will most assuredly offend somebody. And at least half of it will. Probably not the first half. But yeah, check them out. They're going to be fantastic. Then on Monday, tune back in for Mr. America, the Bearded Truth at 8 o'clock Eastern with Jason Lyon. I'm going to be on that episode. Tune in for me and Jason Lyon on Monday, where we're going to be talking about the war on drugs, I believe. I believe that's what we're talking about. I really need to read my texts and emails a lot more often. Really looking forward to the show, though, because I love Jason and I can't wait to be on. And then next Tuesday, right back here, 8-ish, for Spike Cohen and myself for the Muddied Waters of Freedom. And then on Wednesday next week, a brand new episode of My Fellow Americans with Spike Cohen. And then next Thursday, right here, you have me, Matt Wright, for the Writer's Block. For the Writer's Block, next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Again, if you are watching us on any social media, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, hit whatever buttons they give you to do, hit bells, hit whatever you need to do so your phone will let you know when we are on the air. Be sure to go to tomfor52.com, TOMFOR. 52.com, and join in the meme contest, which will be found at /FTG. I need to find a fun fact for you all, because I forgot to do that today. I normally do. Normally I play trivia on Mondays after I finish doing the notes for Muddied Waters Media, and I didn't do that this week, and I'm not going to do it next week, so I need to find my notes somewhere else. Okay, perfect. And last week, sorry I wasn't here. I was on vacation. Superfan Sarah Andrag and I took a trip. We went up to the Blue Ridge in Georgia, and then we went over to Tennessee. We hung out. We had a great time, and I disconnected from everything for a bit, and it was fantastic, and I needed it. I needed to reset a little bit and go out and breathe some air that wasn't filled with red tide. And Tennessee was just the prescription that the doctor ordered. So for your fun fact of the week, the biggest pizza ever created was 13,580 square feet, and it was made in, shockingly, surprisingly, Rome, Italy in 2012. Unfortunately, I don't think you can consider it a pizza because it was gluten-free. But thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm going to be on 3 nights of Muddied Waters next week. And that gets me up over the 50% mark, which means I get a raise from myself. And thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Cajun Eskimos from Bayous to Igloos. And I will see you all next week.
I am swinging from a 7-story window, throwing parties in a 10-by-7 cell. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Yeah, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'll try to use your body as a life raft, 'cause if there's room enough for one, there must be room enough for two. I'll sail the good ship you into the sunset, sipping on savory water till my liver turns blue. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Is broadcast in the evening news. I will be relieved. La, la, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'm waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. Singing, hey, hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Fuck.